I went on over 150 dates during a 4-year span before I got into my dream relationship now. But dating didn't always come easily for me. When I was younger, I was painfully lonely, and I thought I was doomed because of my looks and race. But on the journey of trying to improve my dating life, I discovered the truth. Any Asian man can succeed in dating with the right knowledge. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the 10 biggest lessons I learned along this journey and how you can use them to immediately get more dates and find a long-term relationship. Lesson number 1, if you think you're unattractive, girls will too. There's this thing called the law of state transference, which I learned is basically the way you feel about yourself is the way people around you will feel about you. Okay, so for example, if you go to a networking event and you're feeling low confidence, you're feeling depressed, social anxiety, then the people around you are going to start feeling that tenseness and nervousness as well. Now, this is super prevalent in dating, okay, because if you feel that you're unattractive, which I used to a lot, then the girls around you or whoever you talk to, approach, or even text on a dating app, it's crazy, okay? The energy transfers via dating apps as well. They will feel that you have that low self-esteem, that you don't feel good about yourself, and they will be repelled by that energy. So you might be thinking, Alex, well, I haven't had much success with women. How am I supposed to feel attractive about myself? Well, the answer to that is that you gotta allow yourself, okay, even the possibility that you can be attractive, okay? You gotta like open that door, because a lot of Asian guys that I've met have closed the door on the possibility that they can even be attractive at all. And if that's your case, then you are doomed, okay? If you close that door completely, you are doomed. What you've got to realize is that being unattractive is not something that you are. It's not like you were just born this way. It's something that you do, okay? It's the way you present yourself. It's the way you show up in interactions. And ultimately, it's the way that you feel about yourself. The key is that you have to decide, okay, I'm going to be attractive. Maybe I'm not getting the external results yet, but I'm gonna decide that I'm attractive. I'm gonna start acting that way the best I can. And when you do that, you're gonna start getting reinforcement from the outside world of girls laughing at your jokes, girls touching you, girls giggling, girls showing interest, and that's gonna reinforce slowly the identity that you are attractive until one day there are no questions about whether or not you're attractive. But as long as you think that you're unattractive, girls will too. Lesson number 2, most of our disadvantages are self-imposed. A lot of Asian guys, me included in the past, think that our disadvantages are all coming from the outside, okay? The media portrays us this way, the stereotypes are like this, the Asian lead never gets the girl in the movies. There are so many external reasons for which now myself as a person, can't succeed with dating. Now, this is a vicious but stealthy cycle. And what I mean by that is when you consume media and you start buying that as the truth, and you decide for yourself that girls don't like me, I'm not attractive, I'm Asian, girls don't like me, then you actually start acting that way. What that looks like is either you take no action to go after girls, or when you do take action to go after girls, you do it with low conviction, low confidence. You don't really believe in it, and girls will sense that. Either way, the result is the same. You're not getting success with women. Now, the truth is, yeah, the media doesn't paint us in a particularly great light, but we have a choice as an individual to decide whether that dictates our self-image or not. If you buy into that self-image, all of a sudden, that's your reality. If you buy into the idea that girls don't like you, then girls just won't like you. But if you stop that cycle, okay, you consume the media and you say, well, that's great. That's what they say, but I'm gonna decide for myself my story. So the key here is that you've got to cut that cycle short, okay? You can't look at the media and think, well, the media says I'm unattractive, so now I'm unattractive. You got to look at the media and say, hey, that's what they're saying about me, but I'm not gonna buy into that storyline, and I'm going to live the way and act the way that is gonna serve me. And I promise, if you're an Asian guy who, goes after girls and does it with conviction and confidence, all the things about race just go away. Like, you will succeed with women. So the conclusion here is that the dating disadvantages that you experience, they're not out there. They're in here, okay? And you can flip that script yourself. Lesson number 3, Asian culture does not help with Western dating. Asian culture encourages encourages certain traits like obedience, being quiet, keeping your head down, right? Following the rules. These are very like Confucian, collectivist, societal values that serve Asian society really well. Unfortunately, if you're an Asian guy born in the West, these traits don't serve you well when it comes specifically to Western dating. Western dating values being bold, going for what you want, not being afraid to say what you think or to offend somebody. In general, Western culture prefers individuality, okay? You want to stand out. You don't want to blend in. So just understand that if you have an Asian upbringing, then some of these values, these Confucian values, were probably instilled into you very, very hardcore from a young age. And not that they're bad, you just need to learn some different skill sets of communication and social skills in your adult life so that you can thrive in a Western dating society. If this is helping you so far and you want my personal help to help you get a relationship, just click the link below. Lesson number 4, most girls don't care about your race. I've dated girls of all races, Asian, white, Latina, black, brown, you name it. Most girls don't care about your race. Here's what they actually care about. Do they feel safe, led? Are they with a confident man? Do they have a man who provides and protects, who basically brings masculine traits to the table? Because at the end of the day, masculinity is what attracts femininity. Man, woman, masculine, feminine, that's what attracts. Now here's the caveat. Yes, probably like 5% of women will actually disqualify you automatically because you're Asian, okay? But this is not anything strange, okay? There's probably 5% of women that you also automatically disqualify, if we're being super honest, based on their race, their looks, their height, their, financial status, educational status, background. There's a portion of women that you just will not date no matter what. However, the crux of it is that a lot of Asian guys think that women will automatically disqualify you based on being Asian, and they think that that's a lot of women. They think it's like this much, when in reality, it's actually like this much, and that's like a normal percentage. So just trust me, if you focus on masculine traits like being confident, okay, speaking your mind, leading, these things will take care of your dating life, and the whole race thing will just go out the door. Lesson number 5, complaining will not get you girls. I used to complain a lot, okay? I wanted sympathy points from my friends. I used to complain to my white friends, oh my God, it's so hard dating as an Asian. I used to complain to my female friends, like, oh my God, girls don't like me, I'm Asian, they can't see me for who I am. Now, granted, none of them understood, which made me feel even worse, okay? But it doesn't matter because none of that complaining ever got me more girls. Later, I discovered there's only one thing that will get me girls, and that is taking action. Once I started taking action, once I started putting myself out there, once I stopped feeling sorry for myself, reading Reddit, YouTube comments, things that would make me feel like woe is me, and actually put myself in the real world taking action, that's when everything changed. So stop complaining, start taking action. Lesson number 6, you must present yourself well. So we all know that when it comes to, for example, job searching, you got to present yourself well on your resume, on your LinkedIn, right? If you're a great candidate, but you have a shitty LinkedIn, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get interviews. But when it comes to dating, it's the same exact thing. Yet we all assume that somehow because I'm a great guy, that girls should just know that. Well, they don't. And this is not just something that applies to Asian guys, this applies to everyone. So don't think that you're special or different because you have to learn these extra skills. Everyone needs to learn the skill of presenting themselves when it comes to dating. There's only a few core skills you need. Learn to dress properly, learn to take photos, learn confident body language, and then learn to talk and flirt with women in person. Any man who learns these things, okay, Asian, white, black, brown, green, will have success with women. So don't kid yourself and think that without learning any new skills, you'll just magically do well in dating. Learn the core basic skills and you will find that dating is all of a sudden much easier. Lesson number 7, the stereotypes won't change. I used to think that one day when the media finally portrays us in a good light, when the Asian lead finally gets the girl, that all of a sudden my dating life would just take care of itself. Well, that day never came, and yet the Asian representation on media has actually increased significantly in the last 5 to 10 years. But it's not that which turned my dating life around. It is the things I talked about in the previous points. taking action, believing that I'm attractive, and learning the skills to be able to present myself, not complaining, not wallowing in my own sorrow. In fact, I've seen Asian guys who are wallowing in their sorrow, okay, and then seeing the media change and becoming incrementally more positive towards Asian men, yet their dating lives have stayed exactly the same. I don't fundamentally believe that in our lifetime anything's gonna change so significantly to the point that all of a sudden Asian men are gonna become the predominantly preferred archetype of men in Western dating. It's just not gonna happen. But I've never seen an Asian guy who, if he did the proper work on himself, couldn't have a great dating life, even in Western society. So stop hoping that the stereotypes will change and work on changing yourself. Lesson number 8, harder dating makes you a better man, okay? If I could choose the way I was born, would I choose to be a 6-foot white guy with blonde hair and blue eyes? Probably, okay, it would probably have made my dating life a lot easier. But since that's not an option, okay, and I'm not gonna just sit around complaining, well, the bright side is I actually got a lot of benefits out of having this disadvantage in dating. I had to overcome so much rejection. I had to learn to believe in myself. I had to learn to cure my self-doubt. I had to work hard for a very long period of time. I had to learn to improve myself, which ended up being the greatest blessing I ever received. Because what I learned from dating and overcoming those challenges has spilled over into my career, my friendships, my family, my general communication, okay, my finances, my health, my fitness, my everything in life has improved because dating was my gateway drug into self-improvement. Because dating was so hard for me and I was able to overcome that, I learned that anything is possible for me, and now the sky is the limit. So if you're Asian and struggling with dating, I'm sorry. None of us asked to be born this way, but if it's a little bit harder, take it as a healthy challenge that will make you a better man in the long run. Lesson number 9, master 1 to 2 dating environments. There's 4 main dating environments: night game, date game, social circle, and online dating. Okay, night game is approaching girls at the bars and clubs. Day game, on the street, cafe during the day. Online dating, obviously you know what that is. And social circle is either building a social circle or joining a social circle. I personally gravitated towards online and day game. Online because it's just so easy. Okay, you make your profile one time, the volume is so large, you could be feeling awful that day and still get matches and dates. And day game because I enjoy interacting during the daytime. I don't like going out at night. And I also want the freedom of being able to just see a girl at a cafe that I find cute and just walk up to her. Some guys love night game because they are night owls. They like drinking, partying, that kind of socialization. I don't like it. I'm also not a big fan of social circle because you gotta play the long game. You gotta wait forever, okay, to like, incrementally get to know a girl within a social circle. And then you gotta hope that you don't, ask her out and then everyone finds out and you blow up your social circle. It's just a lot of work for very little return. That's not really my cup of tea. If you master 1 to 2 of these environments, you will have more abundance than you could ever imagine. Just get really good at 1 to 2 of them, maybe 2 that complement each other, and yeah, you'll be set for dating. Lesson 10, it's hard, but not as hard as you think. Let's say that the difficulty of dating as an Asian guy is 100, okay? Out of 100 units of difficulty, most Asian guys think that 30% is in our control and a whopping 70% is out of our control. Media, stereotypes, blah, 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 blah. In my experience, okay, having myself gone on over 150 dates and coached over 120 Asian men, I know to be the truth that it's the other way around, okay? 70% is actually in our control, 30% is probably stuff that we just can't change. We can change our beliefs, our attitudes, the way we present ourselves. We can change the way we stand, the way we talk, okay? The amount of action we take, whether or not we get coaching, outside help to speed up our progress. I've never met an Asian guy, okay, of any type, tall, short, old, fat, divorced, whatever, who, if he took care of the 70% of things that are in his control, didn't have an amazing dating life afterwards. What I'm trying to say is, if you take care of that 70%, you will have a far better dating life than most guys. Okay, I'm not even talking about Asian guys. I'm talking about most guys in general, white, black, tall, short, fat. It doesn't matter, okay? It's because most guys are not taking care of the 70%. They're just entering the dating market where they enter it and just staying there. If you actually make a concerted effort to improve in those areas that are under your control, you will, okay, 100% beat out all the other guys in the market. So in conclusion, master what's under your control. So there you have it. I promise if you implement these lessons, you will get more dates and find a long-term relationship. And if you want my personal help to get a relationship, click the link below to book a free consultation with me. I look forward to speaking with you.